Thank you for joining us, everybody. We're going to get our show started in just a couple of seconds here. Want to remind everybody, if you could just share this broadcast, we would greatly appreciate it because it would help us get more views and make the show a lot more exciting for live interaction. So please, don't forget to share the broadcast. We also appreciate all of your likes and comments. Thank you so much for tuning in, and get ready for Spit the Wits. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to this show that was entirely produced and developed by the people sitting in front of you. Jessy, Meadows, and Frankie Almost. Brought to you in part by Rolling Hills Productions. Live from Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Spit the Wits. Jessy, if you would be so kind, would you please tell us what today's show's about?
Hey everybody, so we're just going to be talking a little bit about this crazy week that we've had this last week. Couple things going on in Vegas that we're going to talk about. And comment your opinions and stuff.
And now, here is your host, Frankie Almost.
Hey. What's up, everybody? We got some things we're checking out, brand new stuff. Check this out. We've got if I can get it to pull up, we got a live shot of the strip. Not bad, right? So we finally got that webcam thing. This is actually courtesy of another website, but I'm not mentioning who they are right now because it hasn't been cleared. But as you can see, the images are reversed, though. So anyway, back to us. I'm actually going to be hitting up that website and asking them, please let me use that image. That's why I just showed it briefly. But anyway, here we are in Las Vegas, Nevada, as you just saw, and that actually was a live view of the strip down towards the Stratosphere area. Naked City, I guess, is what they call it. So anyway, here we are, and it's been a crazy week. So crazy that we don't even know how to put it into words. That strip that you saw down there, not in that area right there where it was. What's up, Ralph? How you doing? Nice to see you. But anyway, not the strip that you were just looking at, but down on the other end of the strip, there was a shooting this week, and our condolences go out to the guy that passed away for some crazy maniac shooting for no reason kind of thing. Did they ever come up with a reason for that? I mean, not that there would be a reason to shoot somebody and kill them, but no. Did the guy ever have some kind of motive? I think he just went ballistic and just lost his freaking mind and started shooting people, which is horrible. It was definitely
premeditated because they showed up in pig masks.
Oh, did they? No. Are you mixing that up with the robbery? The Bellagio robbery?
Oh, maybe I am.
You are, for sure. And that's why we're trying to be a little bit informative, but we need to do a little bit of research. The pig mask thing was actually a robbery that happened at the Bellagio just about 12 hours before that, or about 8 hours before that, or something like that. But anyway, so this guy goes ballistic and just starts shooting, and then escapes into an RTC bus, which is like our public transportation here in Vegas. And they had to get a SWAT team. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that most of you saw it on the news. But for those of you that didn't, the guy lost. I'm sorry, Ralphie. Ralphie corrected me and said it's Ralphie, not Ralph. And, I apologize. I got 17 different things going on in this computers. And so I apologize, Ralphie. So anyway, so this guy goes ballistic for no reason, just shoots the place up and hits a guy in the chest and kills him. And that's horrible, and it's awful, and apparently that guy's wife was there consoling him while this was all going on. And then somebody else was wounded, but they, from last time I heard, that they were okay. So anyway, Vegas is getting really, really violent, and it sucks. There's always been some violence here, and as my partner Howard Rolling and I were mentioning in the car today, because we both lived in Vegas. He's lived here like almost his whole life, and I've lived here for the past 15 years or so. And we said that Vegas has always been violent, but typically there would be at least 1 or 2 homicides per week. But
yeah, it was. I mean,
it was connected homicides, though. It was like gang related. It was over some kind of turf battle kind of thing. So it didn't really involve civilians, and or not that they're not civilians, but you know what I mean, like regular people that aren't involved in gangs. And so, but then lately it's just been shoot 'em up, freaking craziness, and it sucks because we love this town and we want it to be somewhat what it used to be like, and it's not going that way anymore.
It's really sad.
Ralphie said that's why he stays clear of the Strip. Yeah, us too. With the exception of once a year we go stay at Circus because it's old nostalgia and it's old Vegas, and we celebrate our
we love it.
We celebrate our anniversary there. So,
and our 1-year anniversary is coming up not next month, but the month after in May.
Right. So. Right. So we will be, staying at Circus because it's a classy joint, and what are you going to do? We love Circus. Like, oh man, it pisses me off. Like, so many people have been like putting these reviews on their page, and I totally went in there and I was like, oh, I love Circus, because everybody's just like, this place is a dump, and this place, this and that, and they don't even have coffee machines, and they don't have a refrigerator in the room. And of course, these are your typical waspy families from like freaking the other coast or whatever, and they're coming to Vegas for vacation, and they're expecting like this lavish suite, and it's like, dude, okay, you paid $20 for the room. What the hell do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, $20, and then on the weekends it's pricier than that, but everything goes up on the weekends in Vegas because that's the time to be in Vegas. So we usually stay during the week on the off times, and we have no complaints. Like, yeah, the place is old. Yes, it's musty. Yes, this, that, or the other thing. The carpets aren't freaking, up to par. They're not brand new and stuff, but we like the nostalgia of it all. So
yeah, I think I would rather stay at a place like Circus than, or one of these older motels than a freaking Cosmo. Like, seriously.
Sorry, I was laughing, and you started getting nervous that I was gonna like make fun of you or something, but it was actually Ralphie in the room. He said, "Wow, Circus is my all-time favorite," and he goes, "I know Jess does a trapeze act there." Jess does not do a trapeze act. The only place that Jess does a trapeze act is in bedroom.
I'm blushing.
Just kidding. So we're being silly today. We have no guest, and I think we're going the way that it's been going lately is that we're not doing guests on Tuesdays. So it's like just us on Tuesday. 2 for Tuesday.
2 for Tuesday.
Right? And then friends on Friday. I came up with a little thing, right? So, so we're at the 2 for Tuesday thing. And we're just basically shooting the crap, spitting the wit and all that, talking about, random everything. So I can watch the broadcast in the room right now, and I hope that it looks the same on the phone where our phone number isn't covered up. Our last broadcast, we had it reversed, and our phone number was right below where it says live and how many viewers and everything. So, but yeah, if anybody wants to call in and just shoot the crap with us, spit the wit with us, we will take your call live on the air. And that is the phone number below. That is our live telephone line here. Let's make sure the line's working. And it is. Okay, good. So let's see what else. Oh, I'm not a big sports fan, but big news in sports. Raiders are coming to Las Vegas. And okay, so here's my wife, Jessy, and hey, what's up, Cleo Miller? How are you doing? And my opinion, and that is that Vegas has been a very violent town recently, and now we're going to get the Raiders here.
I was like,
oh man,
what?
So
that's why they left LA. I remember being in LA when the Raiders were there, and it was pretty awful.
Thank you very much, Cleo. She said that, hey guys, looking good. And I'm only seeing part of the conversation, but I am trying to keep up on the room because as you know, lately we've all discussed when we've had 4 or 5 people in here that different people are receiving different messages in the room, and I still don't understand why that is. Like, I understand that there's a delay because, you know, we're broadcasting and we're going through freaking basic, what's essentially phone lines, and then down to other people and all that stuff. But the phones that are wireless, I guess, like, depending on services or something, but some people are having texts that aren't even showing up in the room at all. Like
yeah, I don't get it.
It's really weird.
And it's not just us. I've heard other people that go live and do these podcasts like have the same problem, that they don't get all of their comments.
Yeah. So let's see what else we got going on. We were going to talk a little bit about our YouTube channel because some news has happened here, and that is that YouTube, this is an alleged thing, as you know. We don't really know the absolute facts, but based on what we've heard, YouTube is going to take like a $750 million hit from advertising revenues, and this affects us even though it's fractions of a cent for us.
Right.
You know, people like PewDiePie, I'm sure, are going to suffer pretty immensely from it because there's a lot of major corporations that are pulling their ads from YouTube because I guess from what I read, and again, we don't know if this is true, but from what I read, the advertising people that were paying for advertising revenue, like Walmart and stuff like that, they were getting mad because their ads were playing on what essentially was hate videos that were promoting like racism or hatred towards the LGBTQRS community. Somebody said something that was funny to me. The LGBTQ, is it?
Yeah.
And I think I saw this in a Jeremy Flores video. It wasn't Jeremy that said it though. It said I thought that was just like a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich with quiche on it or something like that. I can't remember. It was funny though. Anyway, so sorry about the goofiness. So that really doesn't affect us, but it does in certain ways because her and I barely make anything on YouTube, even though we have almost 1 million views now.
It's crazy.
One of our videos,
so weird.
One of our videos has 700,000 views. And, guacamole! It was your joke, Fatbeard, Danny. Was that really your joke? I saw it on a clip. I thought so. Somebody must have stole it from me, dude. So yeah. So her and I make fractions of a cent on YouTube, even though we have like a lot of views. Like I didn't realize this. Like I honestly thought because we make such little money that I was assuming that we just weren't shit basically on YouTube. I was assuming that we weren't we were nothing, and we were totally just like one of the people that are just like sitting in their bedroom essentially and trying to make money, even though we're putting time and energy into our videos and stuff, and actually like editing on good software and stuff. So, but as it turns out, there are these people, there's several people that I know that are established that, I mean, there's this one girl that writes songs for Katy Perry, like literally writes her songs.
Yeah, really talented.
And she has videos that have less than like 25,000 views. And I'm like, how is that even possible when you and I have, we have 2 videos that are doing really well. We have one that we released 2 years ago that has 700 and something thousand views. And then we have another video that has, it's about to break 100,000, the Real Soldiers video.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoa, why aren't we millionaires? What the hell? And now, as I just stated, YouTube is going to be taking a dump, and I'm sure it's going to hit us, and I mean, we're never going to get paid.
And
we're going to be sitting around for like 400 years waiting for the minimum paycheck.
So that we can get a dinner.
Yeah.
No, it's, what was I going to say? It was like one of those things where I had it in my head and I forgot.
Yeah. That happens to me a lot.
Oh, I was going to say YouTube penalizes people, right? Like, if you don't do enough videos or you don't...
I guess it's not so much that they penalize you for not making videos. There's certain things that they want you to do on YouTube that put you up in a higher bracket, like as far as like if you're a better, a more valued artist or creator. And that is that they don't like short videos, which sucks for people that are musicians, because typically a song is less than 5 minutes long.
Right.
Unless you're, freaking Guns N' Roses or something like that, or
it's one of these DJs that does like hour-long sets.
Right. So that's one factor, and then another factor is I guess just how much you're searched and how much people, it's watch time, because somebody just clicking on there and just watching your video and then leaving doesn't really like count, even though it counts on a counter. Hello, Roxanne Ramirez. She said that saw it on the Dave Chappelle show. I guess that joke or something.
Yeah. That joke.
Okay, so and what else was I talking about with YouTube? Oh yeah, so it affects us, but it doesn't affect us. So, I mean, we weren't making really any money on there anyway.
Yeah.
It was more of a platform for us to get our. I mean, why are we even doing YouTube? The songs we're writing are completely intentionally to mess with people. I'm not going to say bad, because they're not horrible. They're pretty well produced, but they're just edgy and weird and not something people would typically like,
Yeah.
Because they're not written in the chords that everybody knows, that it's the same 4 chords that throughout history, Journey, and all these other things. Yeah. So if you want to write a hit song, you have to use those 4 chords. And these are like completely like minor chords and all this crap. And so anyway, so it's essentially or intentionally cringy music, I guess.
Well, we kind of had Die Antwoord in mind when we first started.
Right. Which started out, people totally hated them, dude.
And now they love them.
And people did the same thing that they were doing to us. They were like, you guys need to like jump off a cliff, stick a gun in your mouth, or whatever the frick people say to people. And then it ended up turning in their favor, and they blew up, and everybody started liking Die Antwoord. So, I don't know. It's hard to tell with people, and you can't judge it until you just go out and just take stabs at it.
Stay with it. Stick with it,
Yep. So, hey, Danny. Oh, wait, we got a phone call. I'm going to ask you your question in a second here, Danny. Hello. Welcome to Spit the Wit. Who is this?
Hello, Frankie. Hello, Jessy.
Hey, what's up, Jordan? How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good, man. What's been going on, bro?
Not much, just looking for a decent karaoke spot.
Yeah.
I was listening to conversation on musicians.
Uh-huh.
I gotta agree with you on that one.
Yeah, about the fact that people have to conform in order to be heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Jordan, what are you doing on Thursday nights?
Thursday night, I don't have anything on my schedule. Why? What's going on?
Well, you were mentioning karaoke, and we actually do karaoke at Noreen's Lounge on Tropicana on Thursdays, but we don't start until midnight.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to take a pass to that one.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days I'll come on.
Yeah.
Have me on Spit the Wit. I'd love to join your show.
Yeah, man, we'll definitely have you as a guest, Jordan, for sure. For sure, dude. So we'll discuss that off the air, okay? We'll discuss what day.
I love it.
Okay, cool,
have
man.
A good day.
You too, brother. It's good to hear from you, Jordan.
You too. Thanks for calling.
Peace.
Bye, buddy. All right, that was Jordan. Jordan and I do a song by John Cougar Mellencamp. Whenever he comes to my karaoke shows, he sings "Hurt So Good," and he has me take like the last verse or chorus kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool. Jordan's a good dude, and he has supported my karaoke show for a long time. So thanks for calling, Jordan. We appreciate it. Yeah. Let's see. Where was I? I was talking to Danny. Oh, yeah, Danny. Basically the same scenario. We are going to be doing karaoke at Noreen's tomorrow, and Eric asked me if if I was doing it, and I'm assuming that he wanted to.
It's not tomorrow, right? It's Thursday.
Oh, I'm sorry, Thursday. I'm so discombobulated with everything. So yeah, it is on Thursday, but I wanted to know if you were coming down as well, because Eric is talking like he's going to. Can I start karaoke earlier? Cleo Miller asked. Unfortunately, at Noreen's, the girl, I don't know if you remember Jackie, the bartender at Double Shots. She starts her shift at midnight. So, and she's actually, her and I are like working together. Like the bar isn't actually like hired me, but she has hired me. If that makes any sense. So, I can't just like storm in early and just be like, I'm gonna set up karaoke now.
Right.
So, and especially because they have a pool league that night as well, but it ends at typically like 11. So, yeah. So, I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Frankie's favorite Mellencamp lyric is "sucking on chili dogs." That is true. He's not being sarcastic. He's actually telling the truth. You know the song Jack and Diane?
Yes.
The sucking on chili dogs outside to taste the freeze. Because I mess with Jeremy Flores about that all the time, because it is a euphemism for doing very nasty things to a chili dog. In other words, a hot dog that is covered with brown stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then I typically, when that line comes on, I'm like, Jeremy Flores be sucking on a chili dog out in the parking lot. So... Oh, Ralphie. We gotta have Ralphie in here one night too. Ralphie's an interesting character. What is this he's saying? Can you read that? The lighting looks good in there. Oh, okay.
Lighting looks good in there, and I haven't heard ghost knocks either.
That's funny. Right when he mentioned it, it just happened. But I think it was me that banged the microphone with my ear. Dude, we have such an elaborate setup right now, and I need to scan through and show you guys all of our camera angles right now. Okay, so we're gonna do that real quick just to show off what we've been doing in here, because we seriously have done a lot of work. So let me just scan through the cameras here. This is the camera that you're seeing us on now. This is the most beautiful camera because it's the one that is on Jess. Oh. Here's where we typically just have like an overview of the studio and it shines on our guests. And let's see, where did I leave off at? Okay, and then of course you guys have seen the double angle where it shows us talking to our guests. However, we've added some character generation and the logo. Wow. Sorry. Jeez. And the logo for our production company. And I wanted to show everybody, because nobody can really ever see, that we have an actual full-fledged studio here. Like, there's a wardrobe rack right there with silly clothes on it and fur jackets and stuff like that for doing all kinds of skits and things like that. And that room doesn't really look very big on camera, but keep in mind that the thing that you're seeing on the wall is a projector. That's a projection screen that looks like a TV playing on the wall over there. And the coat rack is really close, and that room is seriously like 30 feet. It's huge. And then we have a green screen, but you can't see the green screen because of the camera angle. It's behind the thing. So let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, that's pretty much it for now. We are gonna play a one of our lyric videos, but we're gonna, I don't know. We're trying to promote our music, and like not all of it is satire. I guess that's the correct word, right? Satire. Yeah. So not all of it is satire. Some of it is serious music that we are trying to get out there. And so we're gonna play one that we played in our very first episode, but as things are improving and everything like that, and we've started to incorporate putting these videos on YouTube, we wanted to play that song again because we get royalties for it. So, and then the other thing that I want to mention was that eventually we're not going to be broadcasting this show on Facebook anymore. We're going to be doing it on YouTube, because I know everybody's like, oh gosh, but we get notified when you guys are on here, and we know exactly when to watch and stuff like that. But the problem is that there's so many drawbacks to the Facebook format, and it's not a slap to Facebook. I'm glad that they started this because it essentially started us and put a fire underneath us. Yeah. I do disagree with some of the things that they've done to us along the way, but the main reason is because the fidelity. And what I mean by that is that on Facebook we can broadcast in like 1080p or at least bare minimum 720p, and we can broadcast in stereo, which we can't do here. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but whenever I play music on here, it's mono. So, but it's still cool. I mean, it's really cool because it's Facebook, and all my friends are on Facebook, and it's like, hey, I'm on, and they're like, what's up? But we're hoping to be able to steer some audience via the way of YouTube so that we can start taking this more serious.
Maybe, I don't know, Periscope or?
Periscope, too. Oh, my God, that was another thing we wanted to bring up in the tech world. And that is, and I told you, so we started Periscope when not when it first came out, but way ahead of the game. Like, freaking, how long ago was it? Was that 2 years ago, almost?
A year and a half ago.
A year and a half ago. We started Periscoping, and we made an account for her, and as you know, you can tell by looking at her, she's beautiful, so of course people flock to her live feeds, and Periscope was like the first people that I knew that were really doing live broadcasts from your phone and all that crap. As a matter of fact, it's why I don't have a phone right now, because I was doing Periscope and I didn't know it was eating all my data, and I ended up with like a $1,300 phone bill.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
And the company that I was with, even though I was with them for like 12 years, they refused to work any kind of deal out with me. So I just said, well, guess what? I'm not going to pay you then.
Yeah.
And so I walked out, and I don't have a phone because of that, because of Periscope. But anyway, so I digress. So Periscope, I was having her broadcast on there because it was getting a lot of attention. She started getting a lot of followers. I mean, like 25,000 followers. And I was like, this is awesome. But there was no monetization on it. And so we started talking about it and this and that. And she didn't really like doing it because there's a lot of like people that we call open bob zombies. There's these guys that like say open bobs over and over and over again. And what they're actually saying is like basically show your boobs, but they don't know how to speak because they're all foreigners and stuff. So they say open bobs, and so it gets really annoying. And I don't blame her for getting aggravated by it because she's trying to have like a regular conversation, and then somebody's just like saying something crass to her. But so we stopped doing it. Just probably about I'd say about 6 months into it. And then I'm going to say it, lo and behold, we had just found out that Periscope is going to start doing an ad revenue thing for broadcasters. Now, keep in mind, had she kept with it like I wanted her to, she'd probably have like 1 million followers right now, and we would start making bank. But instead, we dropped out because of the open bob zombies. So thank you, nasty men, for ruining everything, as usual.
Well, I mean, I'm actually more comfortable now. When we first started doing Periscope, I was literally mortified by seeing myself on camera.
She's got some kind of condition, just so that for those of you that don't know, it's hard for her to be on camera.
Yes. I have body dysmorphia, which means I don't see myself the way other people see me. And I'm always self-conscious. I'm camera shy. I can do it. Like, this is actually, I've gotten a lot better because I can look at myself on the screen. It used to be that I couldn't do that. Like, for our video exhibition, I wouldn't watch it until it was all edited and, like, photoshopped and stuff. Right,
which was hard because I was editing it on a laptop on our bed. And so I would have to, like, cheat the screen to where she couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Because if she saw it, she would just, I mean, she wouldn't, like, scream or freak or throw rocks at us or at the computer or anything.
No, I just cry.
But she would get highly emotional about it. So.
And you know, it definitely triggered like eating disorders. I mean, I would be self-destructive without even really realizing it. And with Periscope, it was just this raw footage. It was so terrifying to me. The lighting wasn't good. My makeup wasn't good. My hair was awful. Like, it just was my worst nightmare. And every time he got me to Periscope, I wanted to cry. I was so upset. And
That was the only time. What's funny is because I've been accused of like forcing you to do things, and that was the only time that I was even like persuading you to do anything on camera. And I was like, you just got, because this new thing, and I guarantee you it's going to start paying people, and nobody would listen to me. You were mortified, and everybody else was like, no, it's just going to fall off like every other stupid thing. And I'm like, no, this is going to blow up.
Periscope started to kind of die.
It did start to die.
And we thought, like, maybe it was just going to be Facebook Live and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But now that they're monetizing, it's going to blow up.
It's going to blow back up again, for sure.
So we can do that again. I'm a lot better.
The greatest thing about it is she wasn't doing any of this. I don't know if any of you have ever used Periscope before, but she wasn't doing any of this, like, dancing or yoga in front of the camera that chicks were doing to try to get views. They were basically, like, acting as strippers on there. Those people are going to be left in the dust, which is great, because did you know that they're not going to monetize those people that are doing things like booty shaking and all that crap.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, they want to clean it up and make it a thing, which is great for us because you're beautiful to look at, so that's going to captivate people, but then it's not going to be filth, so it's going to be the best of both worlds. Like, if you want to see a pretty girl, you watch the Jessy Meadows channel, and if you want to watch twerking, you're not going to see it on Periscope. So
nice.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah, it was getting pretty skeezy.
Yeah. Love you too, Diana Agiloni, and thank you for all the hearts and all that. I am glad that you are here. We haven't seen you in the past couple of shows, but I hope you're doing well. And then let's see. Roxanne told me to let the man bun down. She wants to see the Frankie Jesus hair. To which I am going to say that I will actually let my hair down on the show. I'm purposely keeping it up because there is a movie that we're about to start filming where I need to be fat and have long hair. And that's why I'm fat and have long hair. Well, I have the long hair because she wants me to have the long hair. I love the long hair. I was over the long hair thing like numerous years ago.
I won't let him cut it. So.
Yeah. So anyway, and my hair is going to be down like through almost that entire movie. So it's going to be like Jessica's freaking wet dream or something. With the exception of the fatness, though. I don't know how you feel about that. I can't stand it.
I don't even see it.
But yeah, so I am going to let my hair down, but it's probably going to be in a while, like, to promote the movie. I don't know, maybe. I'll think about it. I can't do it today, though, because it's really not, it's unruly and unmanageable. So, let's see. Cleo said that she likes hearing more from Jess than she has before. Yes, I agree with you. And as a matter of fact, when my mother was sitting back critiquing the show, as some of you know, my mother is almost 80 years old. She's 79. And she is very, very blunt when it comes to critiquing things. And she's like, you got to let her talk. Like, don't get me wrong. My mother loves me to death. But she's like, you're hogging the show. You got to let her talk. But as some of you might have noticed, I tried to hand her the mic like numerous times. And I'm like, so what do you have to say about that? And she's like, literally,
I don't know.
Oh, nothing. I don't have anything to say. And I'm like, oh my God. So it's part of her like fear that she had been going through. But she's been doing a lot better, though.
A lot better.
Yeah, you've been talking a lot. The times that we don't really talk are when we have people like Danny on the show that have a lot to say.
Yeah, and you're not going to see me talk when we have guests so much because...
Right, well, when we have guests, I like the show to be more about them than it is us, because I've always hated that when interviewers were interviewing people like Michael Jackson or something, they would take too long trying to get their persona on the... and I'm like, I don't care about you.
Exactly.
I want to hear about Michael. Shut up. Ask him a question and then shut up. So that's kind of like what we do.
Well, that's a big part of our show is when people come on here, it's a platform for them to talk about themselves and their business and whatever they have going on.
Yeah.
So I'm typically pretty quiet.
Right. Roxanne says that she likes long rock and roll hair too, but she also likes bald. So, do what you will. Okay. And then what did Ralph just say? Can you see that or no?
He said, Jess looks so pretty and young. Check that girl's ID. Oh, thank you. That means a lot because...
It really does, dude. Thank you for complimenting her because she seriously, like, still has this dysmorphia thing. So she's always like, I look old. I look fat. I'm like, You look like neither of those things. And here I am, old and fat, and she's trying to tell me she looks old and fat. She gets carted wherever we go. Like, where were we at when somebody, like...
Smith's.
It was at Smith's?
Yeah.
We were going in to play $1 on a Keno machine.
Keno.
Because every once in a while when we're out shopping, we'll just stick $1 in a Keno machine because you never know. Sometimes you win your price in groceries, and sometimes you win like $200. Right. So we just randomly take $1 and go in there. Right. So we're in there, and Jess is standing there, and I'm like sitting there, fat and bleh. I just look like crap, and I'm like betting this money, and she's standing behind me, and next thing we know, the person comes out from behind the counter, and they're like, I'd like to see her ID. Like, it's all her ID, as in not your ID. And I'm like, okay, I see how it is.
I was so happy. Like, hey, here.
So yeah. So you having trouble kicking your microphone, or what's going on with you?
I like
that you're getting closer to the mic stand, but we're gonna have to get you a different kind of stand now.
Well, here's
if that's
the thing.
Case. You're getting more engaged. I'm liking it. Just go ahead and situate yourself.
Sorry
okay.
about that. Well, I got new glasses, so I'm still adjusting.
That's right. Well, they look like the glasses that are on this logo. Here, let me show you guys the logo so you can see what I'm talking about. We took this photo of Jess, about 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. And the ones that you have on now look very much like those.
Yeah. That's why I like them.
So it probably doesn't look new to them. You know what I mean? So, but these are brand new. We just literally picked them up yesterday. So. And
I'm still like, spatially, I don't really know where I'm at. So I keep bumping into stuff because I'm not estimating how far away I am from it. Sorry.
Right. Let's see. What do we got going on? Well, there was something else that I wanted to talk about. Had to do with like The Secret or something. Didn't we have something about that? We didn't want to get too involved in that because we didn't want to like divulge too much and creep everybody out.
Right.
But there was something weird, paranormally kind of thing that we wanted to talk about, and I don't remember what it was. I'll tell you guys something weird. Here's something really freaking weird. For some reason, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning every morning, no matter what time I go to sleep.
And it's 5:30 for me.
And it's 5:30 for her. And I'm typically awake until 5:30. It's funny because Roxanne, who's now in the room, she posted like something to the effect of insomnia's a bitch or something like that today. And I clicked like on it because I just woken up at 3 o'clock. And I went to sleep at like 11. So, like, what the hell am I doing awake at 3?
My sleep patterns have been so off in the last 3 months or so.
Yeah. Like,
before, I was waking up at anywhere between 1:30 in the morning and like 2, and sometimes I would just stay up and drink my energy drink. Mm-hmm. And I would stay up the whole day. And then something started happening where I was getting narcolepsy. And I was like, ended up sleeping 10 hours and falling asleep again. And I have no idea why, but it's been really weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's like magnetic field or harp or what it is.
Harp, yeah. Did you want to mention anything about harp? No, probably not, right?
No, not really.
No, exactly. Because we like living. Cleo said that she's got to say goodbye. You're absolutely gorgeous, Jess.
Aw, thank you.
Oh, you're okay too, Frankie. Ha, much love. Goodbye for now. Take care, Cleo. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We always appreciate the support. And if you have not, please go like our YouTube channel. Or subscribe, I should say. It's like your page on Facebook and subscribe there. And then it's follow on freaking Twitter. It's like, oh my God. Yeah. Can we just pick one word and universally and use it?
Like me on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, and freaking...
it's like me on YouTube, like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and then subscribe to me on YouTube. And it's like, why? Just follow me on all that shit.
Yeah, just find me and then click whatever button
this guy is awesome. Click the this guy's awesome button. Let's see. We are probably going right now to play our clip of our song Auto Genocide, and we hope that you guys enjoy it. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have 2 YouTube channels. We have one that's for music, and some of it's like really weird and risque stuff, and that's called Icy Tins, ICYTINS. And then we have a Spit the Wit YouTube channel, which we eventually hope, with generous donations and generous followers, that we will be able to start broadcasting from there. Because that will be epic. It will be a much, much higher quality thing. Okay, so we're going to check out Autogenocide, and then we will come back to you guys in just a little bit. I think. There it goes. Everything's the same.
Everything's the same.
Every day is pain.
Every day is pain.
And everyone's insane.
And everyone's insane.
So nothing's gonna change.
So nothing's gonna change.
Will never change.
Never change.
You will never understand. The wickedness of man. And you may not give a damn, but you see, it's all part of the plan. Yeah, their master plan. They want us to divide. It's out of genocide. And yes, we gotta fight. Stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. It's always black or white. And who is wrong or right? Yeah. They don't want us to unite. No. They're programming us to fight. It's auto-genocide. They want us to divide. It's auto-genocide. And yes, we've gotta fight to stay alive. Everything's the same. Every day is pain. And everyone's insane. And nothing's gonna change. It's always black and white. And who is wrong or right? They don't want us to unite. It's auto-genocide. Don't buy the hate, don't take the bait, don't be deceived by what they believe. Don't buy the hate, don't take the bait, don't be deceived by what they believe. Don't buy the hate, don't take the bait, don't be deceived they believe. Don't buy the hate, don't take the bait, don't be deceived by what they believe. Don't close your eyes or hide from the lies, 'cause they will learn when the tables turn. Don't buy the hate, don't take the bait, don't be deceived by what they believe. Don't close your eyes or hide from the lies, 'cause they will learn when the tables turn. Don't buy the hate, don't take the bait, don't be deceived by what they believe. Don't close your eyes or hide from the lies, 'cause they will learn when the tables turn. All right. We're back. So we hope you guys enjoyed that. Jess, why don't you talk to the people for a second here while I do one thing? Just mention anything about anything.
Okay, so I do this whole like deer in the headlights thing because when I have to think, it's funny because when somebody else is talking, then I think of something to say. But when I'm on the spot, I'm like,
I was just, I had to share this to a different page, and we picked different, we have so many, like, web pages that we share this to that it's overwhelming. But we should see a little bit of a jump in the viewer count here after I just shared that. So, anyway, Ralphie, I'm glad that you like the song, dude. That's really cool of you to say. Yeah, man, I'll give you a copy of it, dude. I will give you a signed copy of it. Because you have always been a good supporter, and God, how long have you been hanging around, Ralphie? Like 5 years, 4 or 5 years, or was it back in the Golden Palm days? I don't remember, but I know that you have always been a familiar, kind face, and I do appreciate your presence. So, her and I, what were we talking about? You started talking about some kind of universal thing.
Just like religion, having all of these epiphanies about the universe, and then religion, along the lines of zeitgeist, how every culture's had a sun god that was born on December 25th, that had the 3 wise men that died and was resurrected on the 3rd day, and it's all astrology, or astronomy, like. Right.
Well, the thing about it is that there's a lot of people that refuted zeitgeist and different facts and stuff like that, and said that this was inaccurate, that was inaccurate, kind of thing. And it became more of like a splitting hairs thing to me. Like, I see past that kind of rhetoric to try to debunk something, because there's technicalities here and there that aren't exactly true, but the overall gist of the thing is true, and that is that. They've been using the same brainwashing tactics for millennia.
And I was raised very strict Baptist Christian, and I'm indoctrinated with shame and guilt and this idea that I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy and I'm a sinner and this and that. And
You're not worthy. Sorry.
Seriously. And so even when you realize a truth or have an epiphany, you're sitting there, part of you is still going, oh no, I don't want God to be mad at me for thinking this. And that's the way that they control you.
Right. Because ultimately it's your own conscience that's messing with you. You know what I mean? Because when you're raised a certain way, and I don't know, man, the whole religion thing, I have friends that are atheists and stuff like that, and I wouldn't call myself a freaking vowed atheist either. I'd like to think that I don't really know what's going on, kind of like an agnostic, but I think, I don't know, agnostics kind of tend to be like, I don't know which ideology to follow. They all sound kind of cool, but I don't really know, and stuff like that. I'm like willing to believe the most outlandish thing, but I'm also willing to to not believe any of it, because there's no telling. You know what I mean? Like,
it all seems to follow a format.
Right. I'll tell you what I don't believe. I don't believe in a bearded white guy with a white beard in a cloud.
Who's mad.
It was
and
like a puppet
and,
master, basically like the adult version of Santa Claus. I just have not, since I was a child.
What's interesting is, like, when you look at, when the Bible says that God is this, that, and the other thing, there's a lot of kind of similarities to Zeus. Like, what they thought the gods were. Just angry and just, I'm going to do this because I feel like it. That's throughout the Bible, like, saying that God, told, I think it was Abraham to kill his son, and then sends a goat at the last minute, but he just wanted to see if Abraham would do it. And I'm like, that's stupid. Yeah. That is not God.
That's the thing. I don't believe in a God like that, and I won't believe in a God like that.
Yes.
A God that's going to sit there and be that meticulous and jealous and things about silly crap and being like just testing you on a constant basis.
Yeah.
I don't think that's. I wouldn't even want to follow that guy.
No, and the devil goes up to God and says, "Hey, Job is really into you. Job is like really faithful to you. I bet I can make him renounce you." And God says, "No, you can't. Watch." And he just All of Job's kids are killed. His wife is killed. His oxen's killed. He ends up diseased on a trash heap.
Jeez.
Just to prove a point? I don't think so.
Right.
I don't believe that.
Right. One thing that we did say earlier today when we were talking about religion a little bit was that I thought was kind of profound was the whole fact that in most of these ideologies there's the Son of God shows up, and it's like the sun, as in the sun in the sky, and the sun in the sky being the same word but spelled differently as, the Son of God, S-O-N. And so to me it kind of says that, maybe the sun, meaning the S-U-N, sun, is the Son of God, and God being the universe.
Right.
So
And the
it is
sun was
actually
sent to
here.
Earth, right.
Yeah, it is actually here staring at Earth.
Like, we can't live without it.
Right. It
You
brings
know?
us warmth. It brings us comfort. It brings us life.
And
It brings us light. What is it? What does it say? What is the? I am the light and the. You're the biblical person, so I don't know.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by
The way, the truth,
and the life.
and the life.
And-
Not light.
No.
Oh,
The way,
okay.
the
I
truth,
thought it
and
was
the
light.
life.
And I was like, if it says light, then it's the sun we're talking about here.
And
so.
another parallel is the Bible talks about how nobody can stand before God. You will burn up. Nobody can look directly at God.
Right. And if you look directly at the sun, your retinas will burn.
It sure sounds like the sun.
Right. So yeah, that is definitely a possibility. It's funny, dude, because George Carlin actually said that. I think it was George Carlin anyway. I don't want to misquote, but I think it was him that said, if I worship anything, I worship the sun, number one, because I can see it.
Right.
Was his thing. Which I don't necessarily believe in the whole seeing thing. That's one thing that we wanted to talk about. Here's the deal. So I'm willing to believe things that I can't see, because we had brought this up on a different show one time, I think with Eric Maldonado here, that does that mean blind people can't believe in anything because they can't see? Obviously there's things that that are out there that because you can't see them still exist. So what we were going to talk about at one point was the idea of insanity, schizophrenia, with like people that are homeless. When people are sitting there homeless and they're standing on a street corner and they're talking to something that supposedly isn't there, or somebody that has schizophrenia is talking to somebody that isn't there, the rest of us, society, mainly a psychiatrist, goes and tells that person that they have a problem because they're seeing things that aren't there. And I beg to differ, because I'm like, what if they're seeing something that we can't see?
And
And that's a scary thought.
I had this thought like back in the early 2000s when I started. That's when I first started thinking for myself. And there was a schizophrenic guy, and he seemed perfectly normal. He talked normally, but he was sitting there having a conversation with the air. And I went up to him and I said, "Who are you talking to?" And he said, "The guy on the bike." And there was nobody there.
Right.
And I was like, this person isn't insane. Typically, when you hallucinate, and it has happened to me, either from fever or withdrawal or acid or whatever it is, hallucinations are very psychedelic looking. They really are. That's why the psychedelic thing was so popular in the 60s, because people liked that. You don't just hallucinate a whole person talking to you.
I mean, you probably could, but I'm willing to say that not everybody that's been diagnosed with schizophrenia is schizophrenic.
Yeah,
I think
don't
that there's
so.
a high possibility that it's just because the masses can't see the same thing that this person's seeing. Therefore, I mean, and they always end up being skittish after that, because, I mean, you're being told by all of your peers and everyone around you that you are hallucinating these people.
And that you're crazy. And
Right.
then you might start having some things happen because now you believe you're crazy, so you're going to be crazy.
Right. My only advice to somebody that's schizophrenic is don't believe the ones that are telling you to kill people.
Right, the
Yeah,
voices.
yeah, don't do what the voices say. But I think that it's important for people to ask them, what are the voices saying? Who are they? Not just give somebody a pill to shut the voices up.
Yeah.
But maybe schizophrenics are trying to tell us something about a different dimension that we don't know.
Yeah, I don't believe.
And we're taking all of our informants and drugging them up and sticking them in the corner. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's messages from beyond the grave or something. We don't know. So
I think they're actually the real psychics. And I was telling Frankie, all these people that claim to be psychic, I mean, sure, maybe they are. But for one thing, it's very hard to channel your psychic ability into one area. And if people like call you up and ask you a specific question, you don't get that specific answer. It's very like hit or miss. And also, if you really are seeing the spirits of dead people, you're not going to be calm and okay.
Well, here's the thing. You just made me want to put this into perspective for people. And that is, as you were saying that, I came up with this analogy. And that is, Ghost would be a very different movie if Whoopi Goldberg was told that she was schizophrenic and stuck in an asylum somewhere. Completely different movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Jason Herrera said, Bono said it the best when he said, the God I know isn't short of cash. I believe in a higher being and treating people how I wish to be treated. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that. Jason Herrera, man. Dude. You gotta make a trip to Vegas at one point, dude, and we gotta have some kind of reunion. I've not seen Jason. God, I don't even know how long it's been. It's been so long that I don't even know how it's been. And I'm going to say, and I hope I'm probably in the right ballpark, but I'm going to say at least 17 years. And that's a long time. Yeah, so could you imagine the Ghost movie? You know how they do those trailers, dude? Babe. You know how they do the trailers and they take stuff like Elf and they turn it into a scary movie?
Yeah.
And they turn it into
hilarious.
this thing where it's like it looks like a slasher movie of some sort. Turn Ghost into the Whoopi Goldberg hearing voices. You know what I mean? She's like, what the hell? And then she ends up in an institution. Yeah. So that's anyway our thoughts on that. And I don't know. I just think people need to be more open-minded. And I think that if people were more open-minded, the world would probably be a better place. Because, you know, pushing your ideas and your ideology on people is just not cool. It's just not cool.
No, it's not.
I realize how silly it sounds that I'm just saying it's not cool. Like, it's just not cool. But it's really not cool. And the same goes with atheists and, you know, things like that. I tend to lean more towards atheism, but it also varies. It also varies for me. And then there's the whole part of me that thinks, well, maybe it is whatever you believe it is. If you're an atheist in your mind, then your answer is your answer. That's what you came up with, so that's the deal.
And I thought about the other day, I'm like, whatever you believe, you are right for your reality and your universe.
Right, exactly. Thank you for articulating that much better than I did. But yeah, that's definitely something to consider. One thing that I do not like, one thing that I absolutely condemn, and that is believing in something so much that you either punish the person in any way, shape, or form, whether that be beheading or killing or, you know, putting, like, back in the Spanish Inquisition kind of thing where it's sticking your head in a freaking vice and crap like that, or even just ostracizing somebody. Like Christians tend to do. Oh, you don't believe in the Christian way, so
yeah, we don't approve of this, we don't approve of that, and we think this is below. I mean, it's a snooty, backwards way to be because they claim to follow the teachings of Christ or, you know, whatever, and then they do the opposite. They treat you worse than a normal person would. Right,
exactly.
So, yeah, no.
The holier than thou thing happens a lot with Christianity. Christianity is pretty weird. I don't know. I was raised. I wouldn't say raised Christian. Both my parents were of Catholic descent, I guess. I don't know if you want to call it that, but my dad was like Catholic, went to a Catholic school, but my mother was Christian, which is based on Catholicism. So, but I was raised by them, but they never like forced us to go to church as children.
They lean towards Catholicism.
They lean towards it. And I still, at the age of like freaking, I don't know, probably 13, was like, what if, What if no? And I was free to think that, which is great. Because, just like I said, people should be able to draw their own conclusions.
Right. And it's damaging when you indoctrinate somebody. And I'm vegan, but I do not agree with parents raising their children vegan. I think there comes a time when they need to offer them meat. And I would be burned at the vegan stake for saying
Vegans
this.
would, yeah.
But because of my experiences in my childhood, you should never force your kids to believe or do anything. Give them the option.
Right.
And it will follow them the rest of their lives, whatever you teach them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Let them be their own little people. Believe what they want to believe, do what they want to do.
Right. You can only offer guidance to a degree. Like, don't stick your face in the fire. That's not good.
Right. Don't put your hand on the stove.
Right.
Don't cross the street.
But some people are of the teachings of don't even question, why you shouldn't put your face in the fire. Just don't do it. Just do as I say. And that's the kind of crap that I don't tolerate.
That's what goes on in Christianity. It's just...
That's the kind of stuff that goes on in parenting. Parenting, though. You and I have never become parents because I don't know, I feel like I don't know if you and I would always know when to let them. I think that we're completely conflicting all the time of whether or not when to let them be themselves and when to be like, hey,
right,
don't do that, because you and I are such free thinkers and have been, ostracized for it our whole lives that I think I just never really wanted to put another human being through that, so I chose not to have children.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I didn't, because with some of my, even my subconscious thinking and mindset, I mean,
right.
I have, I have a hard time keeping a plant alive.
And because we're saying this, it doesn't mean that we don't appreciate parents and parenthood.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely, but we just don't believe that we're built for it. And those of you that are, God bless you, because somebody needs to raise some people.
Yeah, and my instinct was always towards animals. If I see a kitten, I go ballistic. If I see a human baby, I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
I'm good on that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that, too. So let's see. What else? We wanted to touch on a couple of things. We still wanted to let people know that our donations on GoFundMe are still open, and we're still hoping to get several things to make the show better.
Appreciated too.
And we have a Amazon wish list, which I will be posting in this feed, the links to both of those things, because we do utilize and appreciate all the things that were given to us. I'm not going to say who gave it to us because I don't even know if he wants to be mentioned, but somebody that we know just donated a crap ton of lighting equipment to us yesterday and gave it to actually my partner Howie, and it's like $1,300 worth of lights.
Yeah, it's
and
nice.
So we totally appreciated that. He was just like, yeah, man, it's just been sitting around collecting dust for 3 years, so here you go.
Now let's see if I can manifest a unicorn onesie.
It's possible. I'm trying to get this really super expensive camera, and the reason being is because, obviously we are filmmakers to a degree, so, and the cameras that we're using for filmmaking are basically like consumer cameras, and I mean, they do the job, but it really, like, there's this camera that I want that's $2,000, and I don't know when I'm ever going to have $2,000 of my own. Oh, yeah. So we put it on the wish list just in case any of you are out there and you're millionaires and you're just like, hey, I want to make that dude's day or that chick's day. So, but anyway, we're going to post links to that stuff. And then, the other thing, we're going to start eventually broadcasting on Twitch. Now listen to this. Mm-hmm. This is going to be some epic, crazy, weird thing. Number one, my wife will be there, so there'll be plenty aesthetically to look at. But Howie, my business partner, Howard Rolling, and myself, my wife, and whoever wants to come play on Twitch, we're going to start playing D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
the old school Dungeons and Dragons. Now, let me tell you about this. I went my whole life knowing about Dungeons and Dragons. and laughing at the nerds that played Dungeons and Dragons. And I went almost all my life without ever playing it until just this last week, and I was like pissed that I didn't ever give in and do it when I was younger.
Awesome.
It's
I wasn't
so
allowed
fun.
to play D&D, so I'm like, yes, because I've always been a nerd, and I'm like all about like the computer games, and I was like, oh my god, real D&D,
Right.
like the real thing. So yeah, should I talk about my character?
Sure.
Yeah. So my character is a let me see if I can remember this. It's a high elf druid, sage.
You got me, dude. This is all you. You're all nerdy. I don't know this stuff at all.
It's so cool.
I don't even remember what I am.
I can morph into like different animals.
Right.
I have like powers, like I can whip people with thorns.
Right. Exactly. I'm trying to remember if Howie left any of the D&D stuff here in the studio. He ended up getting these little, because in order to play it, I don't know if those of you, probably the whole world has played this game except me until just last week. But these little figures for the board, because the board is like huge. It takes up like freaking like 4x8 or something. It's a crazy like 6x6 board or something. But anyway, so they have these little figures, and they're really detailed, and they're expensive as crap. And he bought some that are collector's editions. There's literally only 1,500 ever in existence. And he just unboxed them. And I was like, dude, why didn't you unbox those on camera, man? They're a collector's item, like 1,500 in the entire world. And so he's got he pulled them out, and they were just this gray color. And you have to, like, snap them off of the things and stick halves together. And then he's going to have to paint them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like this total detailed work. But yeah, so there's a lot of little figurines that we have, like of trees and shit like that. It's
so cool.
so nerdy, but it's so cool, dude. So we had been playing Dungeons and Dragons over the weekend, our weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was really cool. I was totally sleepy the day that we did it because I don't remember what we did earlier that day.
I do.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, so I exerted myself. But anyway, so we were playing that game, and I even though I was, like, dead tired, and I was, like, sitting on the couch, I was like, no, man, because I would, like, get this little idea in my head, because he'd be all, well, you're over here, and you see this guy, and now this guy sees you and says, hey, you know, and I was like, oh, and then I wake right up, and then go, and then I'd fall back to, oh my god, I'm so tired. Yeah, kind of like people watching this show right now. They're like, hey, they're talking about, never mind. Let's see. Anything that we have not touched on? I don't think so. The movie that we're filming, dude, okay, that's one thing that I wanted to say. Eric Maldonado, I challenge you to a weight loss competition here on Spit the Wit. And how we're going to do this, Eric Maldonado, if you're listening, he and I have both let ourselves go for different reasons. I think that Eric's actually a lot less heavy than I am, but he's also like an inch or maybe two taller than me. Anyway, I have to film these two scenes, and we have been procrastinating these two scenes, and I have been fat this whole time. And I want to lose weight because the summer's coming, and I just am uncomfortable. So I'm going to be filming these two scenes like this week. And then Eric Maldonado, I want to challenge you because, and I'm challenging you as incentive, because if I challenge you, then you're going to, be a dude, and you're going to be like, what? And then I'm going to be like, yeah, bro, me and you, mano y mano kind of thing. And so that will give us incentive to try to beat the other and get these pounds off. And what we're going to do is, like, say every Tuesday or every Friday or whatever, we're going to get a scale somewhere. The universe is going to give us a scale, and we're going to weigh ourselves. And if you weigh less than I do right now, we're going to do it by, our own individual weight loss, obviously. So I think that would be a fun competition. And then not only that, but we are going to divulge to people what our diet plan was. So I don't know if you're going to follow mine. Mine drops weight rapidly. But if you don't want to follow mine and you want to do your own, best of luck to you, gentlemen. So let's do it, man. And then other than that, I think pretty much we've touched all the bases as far as this week goes, or as far as these days go. And Friday, don't we have a guest on Friday? We have a guest, right? No. I don't know if we do, but if we don't, we will.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. So I'm not sure who our guest is on Friday, but we have been booking a lot of people, and we are going to bring a lot of interesting people on here to look at and talk to and call in and ask questions to, because we know that, you know, people don't want to stare at just us. And we also want to give back to the community as much as possible, and keep you guys informed of things that are going on. And we really, really appreciate you guys watching and calling in. Jordan, that was cool, dude. Thank you for calling in. And we love you, and we hope that you guys have an awesome Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Okay. We hope that you have an awesome Tuesday. And be good to each other and spread love and...
Love over hate.
Love over hate. Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And we will see you on Friday.